This episode was taken from a recent talk I held. I hope you get some value from this talk. I would love to hear your thoughts. The biggest question every entrepreneur, landlord, and guru wants to know is this: how are landlords and entrepreneurs like us increasing our rent up to £42,155 a year above the market rent from a single property? Now that replaces the average salary, whether we're the owner of the property or we're just the tenant. You're listening to Ryan OTTO, and this podcast will give you all the answers. Welcome to the Perfect Property Deal. Hi everyone, Ryan OTTO here. Welcome to episode 8 of Ask Ryan OTTO. Now this is your opportunity, guys, to ask me anything you want, and I will keep answering all of your questions, okay guys? So make sure that you subscribe to this channel because there's bonus content, exclusive content if you're on YouTube right now, watching on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you subscribe on the podcast channel you're listening to this on, and you subscribe on YouTube to get instant access to that bonus content and that exclusive content, guys. And anybody else on social, if you're watching a clip of this or anywhere else online, make sure that you guys come back and subscribe to get exclusive bonus content. So the next question I have from you guys is there enough demand for houses over apartments? Is there enough demand for houses over apartments? Now that's a very, very good question. Now this will help lots of you guys, which I know all have the same question. So I'm glad that you asked this question. Now, as you can appreciate, flats, city centre flats, high-rise blocks of flats, sea view flats on the seafront, flats with gyms below and communal areas and, you know, the communal pool, the communal gym and all of those things, and the concierge, they are attractive, they are appealing, and they are more suited to a particular type of traveller. So apartments are great. I love apartments, but we actually earn more money from our houses. So even though apartments are fantastic, they're great for different things, we earn more money from our houses, guys. Now, an apartment in a city centre location, it does let better than a house, okay? This is from our data, from our research, from the properties we have, our statistics inside our Booking.com accounts, okay? Now, we do have if you're talking all year round, let's compare this on all year round, okay? So the last 365 days, our apartments, they do have a higher occupancy than our flats. Now that comes down to, if you can appreciate, a house is obviously bigger than an apartment, okay? When you get to a house, it's probably going to be at least 2 bedrooms, right? 2 bedrooms up. We have 2 beds, 3 beds, 4 beds, houses, and then apartments, which are 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, duplexes, 3 bedrooms, and some penthouses as well, which are 2 and 3 bedrooms. So houses are bigger, okay? Apartments are usually smaller, but as you can imagine, in a house, even if it's 2 bedrooms, what we've tend to do on some of the properties in the right location, in, you know, maybe it's a seaside town or, you know, a place in the southeast, it's a holiday area, okay? So the ones which are geared for that particular market, we earn a lot more money in the summer months, like the holiday season, with those, and then, or more than the apartments, okay? In the lower seasons, the December, the January, the Februaries, okay, the low season, we tend to earn more in the apartments, the smaller ones, than the bigger houses. But overall, across the course of the year, if you compared our houses, the profit, to our apartments month by month, okay, in a monthly cycle, especially from May, or even, May, June, July, August, and September, those 5 months, okay, all of our houses, without question, will outperform all of our apartments, okay? Now, let me repeat that. May, June, July, August, September. This is relative to the area that we're in, the cities that these properties are in, okay, guys? Now, those 5 months, without question, our houses will earn more money than our apartments, okay? Now, through those months, it's typical for us to be in the late 6s, 7,000, and even into the 8,000s in 1 month, okay? Now, some of those properties, the market rent is 1,250. That's a 2-bedroom house that we have. But that 2-bedroom house, guys, is on 3 floors. It's got 2 bathrooms, 3 floors. And when I say 2 bathrooms, it's 1.5 bathrooms, you could say. It hasn't got a shower in the other one, so 1.5 bathrooms. Shower and a bath is upstairs, a toilet and a sink, etc. is on one of the lower floors. So, that's 2 bedrooms, okay, guys, on 3 floors. But the bedrooms in this particular property are huge. They're long and thin. So what we've done, it's a 2-bedroom property, but this property, it's geared for large families, large groups, not parties and stag do's and anything like that, or hen parties. No, it's positioned for larger groups, but it's not a party house, okay? So we tend to have companies which will rent it, right? And they want to house their staff. We tend to have families or a couple of groups of people or a couple of families which would rent it, or even tradesmen. Now, it's 2 bedrooms, but what we have on the first floor, ground floor, lounge, kitchen, the half bathroom, patio, garden, everything, outside area. First floor, there's a bathroom, and then there's 1 bedroom. But this bedroom is from the back of the house to the front of the house, okay? Now, because it's back of the house to the front of the house, there's just a hallway which takes you up to the master bedroom on the top floor. The master bedroom's even bigger. This bedroom, we have a double bed on the left in like a nook, okay, like a recess, right? And then on the other end of the room, it's the whole length of the house, right? Massive space in the middle, huge space in the middle. On the other end, we have or 2 single beds which go together as a double. So 2 singles. So that room sleeps 4, right? Perfect for families, perfect for brothers and sisters, perfect for friends, perfect for groups of people, perfect for tradesmen, etc. The beds come apart, so it can be 1 double and 2 singles, or it can be 1 double and another double, 2 doubles. Then you go up the stairs into the master bedroom. And the master bedroom is up in the loft, in the sloped ceilings, and then you have lots of windows, the Veluxes, front and back. Then you have like an open galleried staircase, which comes up into the room, okay, straight up into the loft, top floor. And then you have a front to back bedroom. The bedroom's huge, front to back. There's a seating area, and then we have 2 double beds separated in the middle where you could easily get, I don't know, in the middle. If you really wanted to, you could squeeze another bed or 2 singles in the middle, but there's enough space in the middle, maybe 3 meters between the beds. It's a huge room, okay? So that will sleep another 2 and another 2. So this is a 2-bedroom house that comfortably sleeps 8 people. And then even downstairs in the lounge, there's an occasional sofa bed in the lounge, okay? Now, this particular house, May, June, July, August, September, will be generating around 6,000, high 6s, all the way into the 8,000s, all right? 6,000 all the way into the 8,000s. So for those months, that property, or all of our houses, that's one example I've given you, outperforms all of our apartments. I think one of our apartments we showed you on the case studies, and I think it got up to about 7,400. The market rent is 1,750, and that I think goes up to 7,400. It's in the booking.com stats we've shared with you guys. I mean, you've seen it on the webinars, you've seen it on social, you've seen it on, oh, this is turning off. You've seen it on any of the content that we've put out. So have a look inside, you'll see that's apartment. And then obviously some of the houses are there as well. We shared some of the houses. So in the late 6s all the way up into the 8,000. So month on month for those 5 months, our houses outperform. Now, when it comes to the lower seasons or out of season, okay, you'll find that the apartments tend to more or less stay around a figure that they fluctuate around. The houses, the demand can go through the summer season, the half terms, the school holidays, the summer months, you know, groups of travelers, people getting married, and a house they want 2 or 3 days for the whole party and things like that, have their hair done and all the stuff like that. So the houses outperform in the summer months, okay? But when it comes to the lower seasons, the houses tend to drop off. The demand isn't as high. We just got a new one recently. It's a 4-bedroom townhouse, 3 balconies, roof garden on the right at the top, roof terrace, okay, right at the top. And I mean, January, we just got that in January, actually, as it happens, or got the deal in December. It started in January. And that particular property, I mean, January, it's just terrible. It's the first month, launched it. It's our worst month anyway across the whole portfolio, every single property. You know, the revenue goes down as low as just above the rent, okay? Just above the rent is like, you know, what we call it for January. January just about breaks even with our expenses, okay? That's on most of the properties. That's just how it is across our portfolio, okay? Where our properties are, January is obviously the worst month. But obviously, over the course of the year, averaging that out, we're at 84% occupancy and obviously earning up to 201% above the rent on average across the whole year. So that property was very, very bad, the performance. But now, what are we in now? We are in March. Actually, it's the 28th of March. Tomorrow is Brexit Day, the 29th, okay? We've got lots of content dropping tomorrow as well for the Brexit Day. Okay, so now we're on the 28th of March, okay, guys? Now, this property, which was terrible in January, just, you know, it was around, just the weekends. Just the weekends. This is the rule of thumb that we found for houses, okay? The demand is there, like I said, in those months. But what you'll find in the low seasons is you'll only tend to have the weekends booked. The Saturday night, where you can still make a lot of money. I mean, this house I'm talking about now, it goes up to... What does it go up to? It goes up to about... 1,495, about £1,500 for one night on a Saturday night. About 1,500 for one night on a Saturday night. So 1,500 for one night, that goes up to that particular property. And what you tend to find is, obviously it comes down in the low season. That's peak summer season, high season I'm talking about. It's 4 bedrooms, it sleeps 10, 12, 11 people comfortably, that particular property. 3 balconies, okay? Townhouse, 3 floors, big, 3 bathrooms. Now, you'll find that you just have the weekends booked in the low season, like the January, the February, the March, and a few odd days will start to trickle in. But when the pricing's right on just the weekends, a Friday night and a Saturday night, 2-night stay or a 1-night stay, you can still earn a very, very good return in the low season. When you get to around the April, the May, the June, July, the August, September, just on the end, September, start of October, you'll tend to find the occupancy goes obviously up through the roof, okay? So when you even that out across the course of the year, houses, for us, more or less earn more or less the same. It's very, very, very similar to some of our best performing apartments, 2 bedrooms, 3-bed duplexes, penthouses. The houses are on par across the course of the year. But if you started it at the end of the summer in the low season, then you may find that it doesn't look very lucrative, or it doesn't look very rewarding, okay? Because you're going to wait to get, the cycle comes round again as things start to rise from around about now, March, April, start to pick up, that you'll actually see the profits just jumping every single month, up and up and up and up and up and up, all the way to September, and then they come down and down and down back again, January, February, March, and April start to pick up again. Okay, guys? So, houses are equally as good and equally profitable as apartments. Again, it's relative to the city that you're in, and where the house is positioned as well, but they are equally as good. Now, I would say you need to have both. You need to have a balanced portfolio of both. If you're starting, it's your first deal with a house, great. If you've already got some apartments, it will be very good to have a house, because again, I mean, you know, even if you just wanted to exhaust the summer months in the house and put the house back onto an AST in the winter months, 6 months, or just short let it month at a time, December, January, February, March, back on for the season, then you're exhausting the most amount of profit you can. So from that particular deal, I mean, going back to the houses, even in the low season, okay, guys, in the low season, you'll tend to have longer lets on the houses. So you can have contractors, you can have tradespeople, you can have Monday to Friday lets, business people, Sunday to Friday. We have lots of those where we sort of twist the strategy a little bit slightly if they're not performing during those 3 months or so of the year, the low season, where we know it's only going to be the weekends, and obviously it could be empty for 5 days of the week. So we do something slightly different where you can advertise it for a week or a month at a time, 28 days. You only need to have 3 of those to get you through the low season. No hassle, no changeovers, anything like that. Then you're all good, ready for the boom as it just goes through the roof for the summer to exhaust the maximum amount of profit that you can. So, is there enough demand for houses over apartments? I hope that answered your question, guys. What else would I say to add on that? Now, what you can do to qualify this at another level as well, okay, guys, on the city or area or location where you are, wherever you guys are, okay? Now, if you go onto booking.com, if you have a look in that area where you already have the house, if you're the owner, if you're an entrepreneur and you're about to enter a deal in that area, obviously find out where the house is. Search on booking.com, have a look and tick the box for apartments and holiday homes. Then just holiday homes, then just apartments, and then compare the two. You'll get so much information, so much data by looking at what's already happened. It will show you the demand, or you can get a good gauge, an idea of the demand, okay? It will also help you with how many reviews they have, what people have said, how many bookings you can get lots of this data. How many bookings they've got, lots of this data from the listing, which is already there on booking.com in the public domain, guys. And you can also check when the property was first ever listed on that portal, on booking.com, okay? Then you can work out how many reviews they've got, to work out how many people might have stayed, etc., etc., etc. And you can see what the demand is before you go into a deal in that area if you're an entrepreneur. Or if you're a landlord, you can obviously decide if you're going to switch your property from an AST to short letting there. If you're already short letting and you're a landlord already involved in this business, but it's not performing, then you can obviously compare that against, or your property against, other properties in the area to work out where you're going wrong and is there enough demand, okay? So, I hope you guys got some value from this session. From this Q&A, guys. It would really mean the world to me if you guys would leave a comment below this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts, guys, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on the podcast, okay, guys, it would mean the world to me to let me know what you thought about this episode, okay? So remember, guys, You just keep asking me questions and I will keep answering them for all of you guys, okay? Now, I hope you got some value from this episode. Just to remind you guys, you're only one perfect property deal away from everything that you want. My friend, if you're not already using arbitrage, what I mean by that is taking a rental property you don't have to be the owner of out of the AST rental market and putting it on Booking.com. You stand to lose out on the largest transfer of wealth that's happening right now in 2019. Because every £1,000 of AST rent is now worth up to £3,000 of rent on Booking.com. If you're not focusing all of your attention on Booking.com right now, you stand to lose. Now you have a massive advantage over the other 2.5 million landlords that are also looking for these secrets. Don't waste that advantage by doing nothing after listening to this talk today. You can join our communities on social media called Ask Ryan OTTO to discuss these episodes and have your questions answered on the next show. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Snapchat. I would love to hear from you and know what you liked about this talk.